I've recorded bits of this journey, but I can't remember if I've actually explained everything from the beginning, and I'm getting to a point now where I'm just getting tired of thinking about it. I'm just thinking that it's never going to happen. And I just need to talk to someone, even if it's just myself and putting it on video. But I'm recording this in the hope that it will go up on YouTube and I can share some of my thoughts with people, and people who are going through the same things will see that they're not alone and by themselves. Thing is, I can't put it up right now. Like, today is October the 11th 2012. I can't put it up right now because I know that hubby doesn't want me to put anything up about our situation. Like Splinter24, she put a video up this week and she was saying how she's had a miscarriage and that she's been, you know, going through a lot, and sometimes you don't really know what people are going through and they're just going through their daily lives and it seems like everything's okay, and beneath that is a veneer of just sadness and emotional hurt. And I think even though I'm not necessarily going through IVF at the moment, I think physically and mentally it can be hard sometimes to keep getting up and feeling like and pretending that everything's okay and you're fine and everything's hunky-dory. Because that is hard. But basically the story is that been with my husband since I was 17 years old. We got married in 2008. I am 31 years old now. I'm going to be 32 in March. Been together for like 14 years altogether. In December it'll be 14 years altogether. We got married in 2008 and we decided... No, we didn't decide that we was going to have a baby straight away, because I had to change jobs quite a few times. And I was waiting till I was in a job that I liked. Well, not even that necessarily that I liked, but in a solid job, because I don't even like my job at the moment. But making sure that I was in a solid job and I was there for long enough to make sure that I could take advantage of maternity pay when I did get pregnant. So I started my current job that I'm in at the moment. I started that in 2009. So from 2010 we had been trying seriously to try and have a baby. Previous to that we'd been like trying on and off, thinking if it happens it happens, but nothing had happened. We didn't really, I don't think we tried for that long until I said, you know what, I think we need to check things out, because like they say that you're supposed to be trying for at least a year before you go to any doctors and say anything, and they start any investigations. And I was thinking, I'm not waiting for that, for them to just tell me what is currently in my gut or in my heart right now, that I know something's not right. So we just said that we'd been trying for longer than we had. It's been a real strain, this whole situation. and if we didn't love each other as much as we do, it would be really hard. I wanted, but in my head at that time, I just felt like the devil was just trying to mess with my marriage and mess with my life, and I refused for that to happen. And I was going to church quite a lot then. Admittedly, I'm losing my faith. And I feel like I need someone to kind of drag me to church and drag me back to the Lord, because I know that he's up there, I know that he's watching out for me, and I know that things happen on his time. But when certain things happen, you just want him to tell you yes or no, and you feel like maybe he's just playing with you. It's like a carrot on a stick. And I don't know, I feel like I'm rambling, but I'm just trying to get my story out. And so basically, after that, after we had all these tests done, we got referred to a consultant at the hospital to see what they could do. And then a consultant wrote a letter to my GP saying that she needed to refer us to King's College for IVF treatment. And at the same time, he also said to us that we could go private, but make sure that our name is down on the waiting list for us to do IVF. This was December 2010 that this letter got sent to my GP. My GP did not do anything. That was my husband. That was Dio calling to see if I'm going to eat my dinner tonight. Frequently I don't eat my dinner. He's on night shifts. When he's on night shifts, I tend not to eat because I just sit in front of the computer and do my teaching prep and stuff like that, and hours go by and I'm just like, I can't be bothered to eat. So frequently I do not eat at night times. I have breakfast and lunch and that's it. Anyway, I don't even know where I was. 2010. Yeah, my GP didn't even write the letter. Didn't write the letter to King's College. So that really hurt. By the time that she got round to writing the letter to King's College, we'd already done 3 rounds of IVF privately. The first time failed. The second time it worked. And 7 days after I took the pregnancy test, I had a miscarriage. And I hate it when they then state you've got a miscarriage, you go to the hospital and they're like, oh, you had a chemical pregnancy or something. Like that's supposed to make it, like it's supposed to disconnect you from the fact that you knew something was growing inside of you. You knew something that was there. You took like however many pregnancy tests because you couldn't believe it, and then it's just gone, and it hurts. It really hurts, and I'm trying to hold back the tears. It makes you angry as well, because you just feel like, what have I done? What? Why? What? Am I not supposed to be happy? But yeah, we did it a third time, because basically this clinic that we went to, London Women's Clinic, I'm gonna say it, everything's like just money with the private places, and it was 3 for 2. Pay for 2 tries, get a third one for free. So by the time I went to King's, they said that they would not give us IVF on the NHS because I'd already had 3 tries. They did try to write an appeals letter on our behalf to our PCT, our Primary Care Trust, which is Greenwich, and it didn't go through. In the meantime, I do have to thank God that Dio got a tube driver job. He used to be a CSA for London Underground, and now he's a tube driver, because without that I'm not even sure how we'd be able to afford this 4th try that we're going for. I just don't think it could be viable, and I've not given any money towards this IVF. It's all been Dio. I've got debts and be unique in the business that my money's going into. So yeah, I don't know. They say that, they always say like God will provide and God won't give you anything, put anything more on your shoulders than you can handle. But I'm getting to breaking points, to be quite honest. I really am. And this is our last chance, and I don't know what to do. And in my head, I feel like I haven't done everything that I should do, like in terms of my faith. I have fasted and prayed on more than one occasion. I just don't feel that my faith has been consistent with the Lord, and maybe that's what he's waiting for. But then I just feel like, on the flip side, I feel like there's other people out there who don't believe in the Lord at all, who smoke, who drink, who do so many other things to their bodies, and they can have kids. And when I had the miscarriage, it was really hard to be around kids, to be around people that had kids, to be around pregnant women, to think about anything to do with children and anything like that. Because like when I was younger, when I was thinking about my future, I'd always said that by the time I was 30, I wanted to have my house, wanted to be in a good paying job, be married and have 2 kids. And everything else has worked out. Everything else has worked out. I bought my house when I was 25 years old. We bought our house. I was 25 years old, I was 26, and I'm really proud of that fact that I own this house. I have a good paying job. I have a job where I'm able to pay my mortgage. I'm able to pay my bills, pay my debts, whatever. Keep food in my mouth, keep heat in the house. Whatever. Where am I at now? We're going for our 4th attempt at IVF. We're going to a clinic called ARGC. We haven't even started an IVF cycle yet, and I'm sure we've already spent $2,000 on tests, and not even just tests. So the most recent update is basically I did something called, I think it's called a Chicago test, and I think it's only called that because they send off the tests to Chicago, and their belief, their reasons for doing this was that obviously we tried 3 times and I hadn't got pregnant, and generally if you've tried 3 times then they say that you should get pregnant within those 3 times. We also do something called ICSIs, where they actually take the best sperm they can find and inject that directly into the egg, and then they take the best quality they're not called embryos because there's no babies, is there? But they take the best quality fertilized eggs and then put those inside of me. So they felt that maybe there was something about my immune system, and maybe my immune system was attacking the egg, or even if the egg did develop a little bit more, then it wouldn't be able to sustain because of my immune system. So last week they got back to me with the results, and they said that I have a high level of white natural killer cells, and I have a high level of a specific cytokine, which is TNFA. I can't remember what that stands for. The doctor on the phone didn't even tell me what it stood for. I did a little bit of my research myself. He then proceeded to tell me that we need to lower those levels of cytokines and natural white blood killer cells, and that I have to take a medication called Humira, which is usually given to people that have arthritis, and that's supposed to lower excuse me, that's supposed to lower those problem things. My first response in my head was, I don't want to take any more injections. And by the way, guys, I have never ever had any fears of needles or anything like that, or blood tests or anything like that. When I was 18 and I had that operation when I was in hospital, I began to hate needles because they were taking bloods from me every single day. But that was ages ago, and I'd gotten over that and it was fine. Now, I hate needles. I really hate needles and injecting myself. And that's another thing, because Dio has Hep B core, so he has a dormant version of hepatitis B. The London Women's Clinic told us that we couldn't freeze my eggs, so I have to then harvest, they have to harvest new eggs every single time I do IVF, which means me injecting myself every single time we do IVF, whereas you could inject yourself the first time, then they just freeze the eggs, and then it's all just about, you know, getting the egg and then putting it inside. But I have to can't think of the word, I'm so tired. I have to inject myself anyway to produce eggs. So that's why I'm just so fed up of injections and blood tests, because they just take frequent blood tests. Like this Chicago test that they took 17 vials of blood out of my arm, and I've got small blood veins. Veins are blood veins. I've got small veins. I don't think I used to have small veins, and sometimes they can find it hard to find the vein, so that's annoying as well. And I just think because I've had so many blood tests that my veins can't take it anymore. That's what I feel like, and it's always in the same arm. But yeah, they took 17 vials of blood, and then the last blood test that I went to have, I actually felt queasy, and I felt faint. I've never ever had a fear of needles before, and now if they tell me to take a blood test, I feel so scared. So where am I at now? Where I'm at now is that I got on the internet and I tried to find natural ways of lowering my white killer cells and my TNFA cytokines. I read that pure cherry juice can reduce this if you drink it every single day. I think it's within like 26 days it can reduce it. Also, if you drink tomato juice, it can reduce it. I'm also taking Brahmi. I'm also taking ashwagandha. I'm also taking fish oils on top of my Pregnacare tablets as well, which I've been taking for like years now. But it does do wonders for the hair. So I take like 5 tablets a day, cherry juice, tomato juice. Now I'm just like, should I just go and take this Humira? Because I'm just fed up and I just want a child. I want to be a mother.